So today we're going to do a little sketch along a river walk, and we're going to show people and benches and some bikers. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at the notes the client sent. We're going to take a look at the photo that they provided, and we're going to do a quick SketchUp model and drop those elements into the photo and use that as a reference along with some photos and things to draw the people. So we're going to start off today with the initial photo, and this is what it came through from the client, and it looks like this. This is our photo, so let's just open it up in Photoshop. And let's just look at the notes real quick here from the client. There's a markup. I'm going to open it in Photoshop too. With the client, we did a screen share, and we took some notes on, we're going to do a bench here and people, and just trying to get the feel and the vibe for this place. It wants to be wooded. It wants to feel like there's people exercising and enjoying and having sort of a lush nature park-like experience. Even though we are along the highway system here, and we are backing up to a site over here to a parking lot. But we're going to fill this in with trees, so it's going to look and feel very park-like. And so what we're going to do right now is just create a preliminary drawing for the client to approve, and then we'll do a line drawing. This is going to be a sketch line, and then we'll do color work. So here we are. So these are our notes. We have the clean photo. I'm just going to close this down. We have the clean photo here. The first thing that we want to do, our first step, is to straighten out this photograph. If we look at this, if we pull over a ruler, you'll see here that there's some keystoning. So there's some angle going on in the photo. So I'm going to duplicate the background layer, and then I'm going to hit Command T, which transforms. And if you hold down Command, Option, and Shift, it does a perspective, and you just want to get it close here. We're just trying to straighten this out a little bit. Always have your perspectives and the verticals vertical, especially on eye levels. So okay, so here we got this file, and it is 8,000 pixels wide. I'm just going to save this out as our original file, and I'm going to go back and make a PSD folder, and I'm going to give it the project number because this is for our client. It's 2012, and this is barge, and we're going to go to, this is going to be perspective 01, and we always label it a DC for digital color. So there's our digital color. Now, we're going to use this as a backdrop for SketchUp, and we don't actually need an 8,000, 8,500 pixel wide image. We only need an image that's around, let's make it 2,400. And I'm going to save this out as a JPEG, and I'm going to put a label on it for 2,400 so that we know this is our guy to pull into SketchUp. So let's go over to SketchUp. I got SketchUp running here, and we're going to do a quick geolocation on this. If you don't have the toolbox open, you're going to go to location. So here's our little guy here, and we're going to click this button that's right here that says geolocate. And now we have to add a location. This used to be run by Google and Google Maps, but that's no longer the case. Finding locations is kind of difficult sometimes just to plug in. Here was my address. I plugged it in. Here's my search. We're actually already in this location. And our river walk, this photo, if you go back over to the photo, unhide the guides. So this is our water, this is the trail, and then this is the highway. So if we go back to Google Earth, or into SketchUp, this is the water, and this is the trail, and then this is the overpass. So we're going to be standing here like this, looking this way. So I'm just going to select this region here. The nice thing about this is that it also brings in the slope. I'm just going to say import. It takes a minute. And to turn on and off the slope, you're going to see this guy. Boom. Right? So here's our bridge. Right? And if we want to turn off the slope, we just do like this. Now, I want to reorient this. Our trail's here. So let me just adjust the axis points just so that if we put stuff in, that it just makes it easier and straight. So we're going to be standing on this guy, and we're going to be here. Take our little feller there. We're going to drop him right here like this. Right? So we're at eye level. Can't really see much of the site here. Let's just add a scene real quick so that we are where we want to be. And let's pull the background photo. And I'm going to turn off this other thing here. If I go to model info, I'm going to turn off the scene transitions. That way when you click on a scene tab, it goes there and you don't have to waste time waiting for it to get there. Okay, so here's this guy. Our photo is 2400 by 912. What was the original file size? I'm just going to do an undo. So original file size is 8750. For sketch, this is way too big. Let's just go, we're going to pump this down to 4800, and it's going to be 4800. And we'll just do, it'd be nice to see a little bit more here on the top. Let's adjust this guy, and we're going to make this guy into pixels. Almost everything that gets done is 2700 by 4800, and I'm just going to go here. And it's going to be nice to see some more tree. Let's just pull all of this down to about here. So at the middle of the image is here, and I'm just going to go a little bit below that. So that's actually a better situation than what we had initially, because we're going to have all this tree cover up here. So what we want to do, the client had spec'd out a 10-foot path with a little bit of shoulder on here. So I want to make sure that I get this sizing right. Now, I could actually use the, this is a little side note here. I could actually use the tires of this car to estimate the tire path in here. So a car is usually around, the parking spot is around 10 feet. So if we knew the car was there, we could do here, and we could say that that was a 10-foot space, because we know the width of the tires here. We're gonna do a little bit more than that in SketchUp, and it's gonna be nice and accurate. And then we'll put some benches in here and a biker in here, and we'll just drop all that SketchUp stuff into this file. Okay, so here we are in SketchUp. Let's just make a little shape in here, and we're gonna call this the path. Here's our path, and I'm gonna specify it to be 10 foot. 10 foot. So here, that's 10 foot. And we'll just extend this guy out. And if we go back to our scene, now we knew from our photograph that we're sort of like slightly to the left of this thing. So we're just gonna go here like this, and slightly to the left. And then we're gonna say update. And I'm gonna turn on make this surface a little bit brighter. And I'm gonna use sun here. So now we can see kind of what we're doing. One more update. All right, and I'm curious what happens when we turn on the topography. We actually see that we're way down there, huh? Interesting. So the side of our photo goes up like this, and we are definitely down. Let's just take this guy, we're gonna make a group out of him, and we're gonna just lower it to this point. And if we go take our guy again, and we're gonna go right here, right? Actually, it's not bad. So you can see this hill over here. So I'm going to say add another scene. So we're up here on this guy's flat, and this guy is the topo. I'm going to delete this default character. And I'm also going to hide view. I'm going to hide my axes and say update. I'm going to update the selected style in this case. Okay, so here's our trail. Here's our hill, and the water's here. It's kind of hard to see, but that water runs through here. So now we have a 10 width. Let's go to our view, and we're going to change the style here real quick. We're going to go to edit. We're going to go to watermarks, and I'm going to add a watermark. Now that we're here in Photoshop and we resize this guy, I'm going to save this back out here. This is I'm going to open that JPEG up. Whoops. In Photoshop, I'm going to open the JPEG up in Photoshop, and I'm going to resize him to 2400 and say, okay, all right. I just don't want a big JPEG in the SketchUp. So anything I can do to keep SketchUp sizes smaller, I try to. So okay, so here's SketchUp. We're going to go to that folder that we made, and here's our 2400 wide image, and we're going to say next, 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 finish. Okay, so here's our guy. and our view is here. So what we know now is that our eye level needs to be lower. And here's our, and then we're going to make this guy a little bit, something like that. This hill is way over there. I'm going to say add, create scene. And can we make this hill smaller? Looks like we need to be way far back here. Let's try that. All right, let's do that. And then we're going to bring this guy down. I'm going to say update this view. Now this thing we know is our path, so let's just make him bigger. And we also know that we're closer to this path. These pink lines that I drew in actually are helpful. Small adjustment there. And how high tall are we? We're at 3'10". We need to go back to 66 inch. Oh, I see. I'm going to undo that real quick here. To know if you're at eye level or not, and this is why it's not working, because we're group X scale to 66 inches. All right, so this thing is 66 inches tall. I know that when I can't see the top of it anymore, that we are at the right spot. I can't bring my eye level up here. I'm going to scooch in. Here's our path. Just move him out of the way. So there's our path. I think it needs to turn a little bit this way. All right. I think for now this is close enough, and we're going to take this path and we're just going to pull him out of our frame in here. So, and we're not quite at eye level, and we can tell that because this square, we can see the top of the square. And what we need is to be down here, like that. And I'm going to do one more update. Okay, so there's our update. We got a quick little camera match there. I feel like the zoom, yeah, see 60 millimeter. This definitely is the wrong millimeter. We want to go to like a 45 millimeter. And that's going to bring things in, actually push things away for a little bit. Let's go to a zoom of like 30 millimeter. I think this photo was a pan, so this is, you can't really photo match to pan photography. It's just difficult. So let's just get close here. Get our eye level. I'm looking at this here. There's our eye level. Here's our path going back, similar to what our pink lines are doing. So there we go. Okay, one more update. So I'm gonna say this is it right here, and we don't need these boxes anymore. So here's our view. Here's our 10-foot path, right? They wanted, let's look at our notes here real quick. Let's go back to Photoshop. So here's our markup. So on the phone call, we were like, here's a person on the bench, here's a bike. Maybe we'll get someone standing in here. This looks like it slopes up, but we know from our model it actually doesn't slope up, so it's good that we're doing this. It actually is going to curve around this thing a little bit. Let's go into our model once. Where does this, I'm going to turn off the watermark. So here's our curve. I'm going to go back to flat, and I'm going to just draw a quick curve in here. So that guy's going to do like this. He curves around, something like that, and then I'm going to take this guy and we're going to just outline him, something like that, and then let's close this shape there, and we go back to our, let's double click group, go back to our view, and then we can pull this guy down. So that's supposed to be where it is, but are we actually lower than the road level? If we look at this, the road level is where? No, there's like a slight uptick. Everything's pretty flat right here, so go to our view. This whole thing needs to be just like go up. Let's go camera, 2-point perspective, and we're just going to put this curve thing right where that road is. I think that looks good, right there. I'm going to do one more update. Okay, so in my component library, I have lots of stuff in the library. And that, if you go to components, I have 3D seated people. Let's do 3D people. I need people seated. Where is it? New. People seated. And at the very bottom of the stack, I know that I have some sort of like bench seating person. Oh, come on. Here we go, top of the stack. So here's these 3 people sitting here, and we're gonna rotate them. They said that they wanted them facing the river, so we'll do this. That gets us a size, and let's go, I do have a bike person that I like to use. People, bikes, and this guy, let's grab this guy real quick. There he is. And maybe we do a little bit like this. Let's just see what happens when we do biker in the foreground. I'm going to add another scene, and I'm going to take away, on the styles, I'm going to take away the watermark and say update. Wait. Okay, so I kind of like this biker in the foreground bit there. The other thing that would be nice to see is possibly like someone standing here talking with a bike, or maybe we have some people walking right here. Maybe someone standing here talking to this person, or maybe a child standing here. So you gotta like tell a little story here. What happens if I put this bike back and these guys forward? No, I like the biker right near us here. So this is 10 foot right here. Let's just check that real quick, make sure. 10 feet, that's right. Okay, so we got a couple bikers in there, and let's just put a person in here for scale, and right here, and then we'll drop some photos in Photoshop of actual people on the bench. So let's do this. Okay. People, components. Oh, do we want to do a little scooter? Where's scooter person? I don't know. People have mixed feelings about scooters. Let's leave the scooter out. Let's do just a regular 2D person. And these guys have been around for a long time. Let's just put them here. Looks like, whoops. Let's try it again. There. Move them there, and then do we have someone just walking? Let's see. Someone walking away from us. She's been a long time too. I can flip her, and she's gonna go this way. I'm just trying to place something here. I kind of want to see some faces towards me. So let's just say someone's walking, they got a cup of coffee, and do they have a buddy? Are they walking with a buddy? Let's see. Maybe this person's standing here talking to these folks. Boy, that's awful short. Is she short? That can't be. Something's wrong there. Let's put someone else standing there. Here's the guy. He looks more correct in scale. I don't know why this person's so small. All right, so he's here and he's talking to them. How was your weekend? What do you think about world news? Deep conversations these guys are having. Okay, so I want one more person over here just for, you know what, that's fine. I probably aren't going to use any of this anyway. It's just to try to start the thinking. I'm going to say update. And I know that my camera match is right here for the most part, and I don't actually need, I'm going to unlock this. I actually don't need any of this part. And so I'm going to say add, and I'm going to say, I'm just going to rename this and call it view 1-2, and this is going to be rename view 1-1. All right, so we have this, and we have that. Let's name this view 1 match. Okay, so this is what we're going to export. I'm going to turn one other thing off in my styles, and I don't want a sky. Update, save as new style, and then I'm going to go File, Export, 2D Graphic, and I'm going to go back to here, and let me go into the SketchUp folder for this project, and I'm just going to put it here, and I'm going to do a PNG. I'm going to call it view 1-2, and on my PNGs, I want to do transparent background. I got the size, 48 by 2700. I'm going to say OK. So here's our quick little setup. We know that we got the scale, the path right. We got our eye level right. Let's go back to Photoshop. This is our resolution file. Okay, let's close this down. Here's our guy. What's our resolution? It's 4800. We are going to be able to just pull this file that we just exported directly into there, and there it is, right? Because we had done all the match already, and like, that's pretty good. Actually, it looks a little low to me. If this is the road, let's zoom in. If this is the walk, this whole thing needs to come down. Let's just cheat a little bit here, and we're just going to move this down. So this walk that comes around lands right by that road. It's important to get that sort of accurately located and depicted. Okay, so here's our peoples. We got our bench in there, and like we can draw from these folks here. I wonder what a trail veg looks like. Walking trail vegetation. Let's just go to images. And based on our notes here, let's go back to our notes. We want to do some sort of shrubbery, maybe to mask some of this, and then we need a bunch of trees coming through here. We got a light pole. Oh, that light pole we could put into our model too. That would be nice. Okay, so let's just see, maybe we can get a photograph to like stick into there. Let's try. It's kind of nice. What happens here? Look at this. That's pretty nice. Let's do a quick download. How about this guy? Some pretty rough along there. What about this? Oh, these are some nice plants right there. That's pretty nice. Look at this. Look at these. This is what we want right here. Oh, lovely. Here, this guy. How about this one? Look at these nice plants. Okay, look here. Oh, nice. All right, I'm going to save the download. Now we have, whoops. Just say save the downloads. And here we go. So here's this. Look at these nice flowers in here. Oh, did we grab this one already? Let's do it. Okay, so we got some ideas for plants over here. Let's just drag some stuff in. Actually, let's look at, here's a plant, here's some plants. This one you'd have to flip. Let's just take a quick peek. I like these guys. This is pretty nice. All right, so let's just take this guy. We're going to take him, pull him in, and we only want this part of it. Right? We only need this part. And I'm going to pop him on a new layer, and I'm just going to put that fella right in here. We need to get the scale right in here. Yeah, that's going to be nice. Now, you don't need to do this, but it's always nice to have those shapes and see them stack as they go back. And this guy, I probably don't need him. Just going to erase. I'm just being quick about this too. All right, so there's that guy, and he's in there. We can use that as for drawing. And let's go back, and maybe there's another piece of this guy. Let's do this one. Pull him in. And what do we like? What works here? Let's just grab this chunk right here. Let's just do that. Here's a chunk. Pop that up. And we're going to flip them around. Does that work there too? Looks actually quite nice. Let's pop them down a couple of layers and just size them back down and see what happens. Some nice flowering things in there. And I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to just pull up the side. There we go. A little smaller there. And then I don't want this whole edge here. There's going to be like a little bit of dirt there. And you want a space between dirt and where the plants are growing. Again, this is just to like get us going in here. Okay. And we know that we're going to draw some trees in here. And then let's get some good people walking on a trail. Let's see. I'm going to do couple walking trail. Let's do a quick little image search. These guys look like they're very outdoorsy. That might be too outdoorsy for just walking along a, a city path. What about these guys? These folks. Would this work? That's not bad. And if you wanted people walking towards you, not bad. Let's see. Happy couple here. These guys are like looking at stuff. I don't like putting people pointing at stuff in the renderings. I feel like it's kind of fake. All right, so here's these guys. They got their walking sticks and their doggy. I don't care for the sticks, but the walking doggy is nice. Look at this. She's great. Look at that. Here's another pose of her. Maybe, if I go back, maybe this person, let's just try this. I'm gonna go to download. Maybe this person's over here talking to these folks. Look at here. So we're just gonna do a quick little, actually you can use this tool. Whoops. This magic wand object selection tool. And if I just go over top of that, how nice is that? Okay, so I'm just gonna hit the mask button in there, put them to the top of the stack. So here she is with her doggy, talking to the people on the bench. Something like that. It does crowd into this bike person. Let's do a quick, let's see if we can find a bike path, rider, images. The hard thing about finding pictures of bikes is that they're like, it's the perspective. And if it's not right, it's pretty obvious in your image. Like this guy. He's pretty hardcore. Did that work? I mean, that's pretty close to this. Let's just pull him in. Right, he's got his helmet. He's close to us. Let's use our, what is this thing called again? Object selection tool. I'm gonna go right over top of this, see how well it does. I'm gonna add the tire in. I'm gonna add these guys in. Close enough. Let me get a little bit more helmet in here. There, got it. Mask. Command T, flip. You see what I'm saying? See how this like doesn't, the perspective doesn't match up. Maybe that'd be okay. Let me just turn off the model real quick. Yeah, that's not bad. Look at this guy. A little blurry. That's not going to work. Would this guy work? He looks like he'd be out there on his bike. Oh, here's another good opportunity just to download that feller. And let's see. No, not her. We want to do this guy. And let's do our quick little selection here. Grab the rest of this tire. Hit mask. Let me just flip him around. He looks like he's leaning. Let's just take the bottom of this guy and pull him back in the frame. And he's a little foreshortened, so I'm going to make it wider there and then pull it back. Oops. Hold down Command and just pull him down. That looks pretty good. I can just pull him out of frame a little bit. Let's see this other one. Oh no, that guy looks good though, doesn't he? He looks like a good biker. Okay, we're gonna cheat on the perspective here. And then what if we are, now that we got this thing, let's just hide this bit. There he is. And then that gives us room for this person here. Gonna be a little smaller. And I'm not gonna use this guy anymore because we got this nice little storyline of this lady. Like this. So they are talking to someone on the bench. And then we still need someone walking on the walkway here. So let's go back to our file here. So what are we gonna do? Path. That one's, she's still good too. Let me just pull her in and keep her. She might be used instead of, look at these guys walking. These guys are walking. What about a stroller? What about mom, stroller? Let's do that. Let's do mom, stroller, walk. Go to images. It's actually pretty nice. That probably would work really well. Let's just do a quick little download on this. But here's dad and a kid. Dad's got 2 kids. Doesn't look like he's walking on a walking trail though. This guy could. I just like the mom. Look at this. This would be great. Let's put these folks in. We'll put them in like right here. Right there. And then we're going to do our wand like this. Nope, my first time. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to size them down. And they're going to go right here. We know how big to make them because we put people in our file. And they're going to be like this. And again, they need to be slightly adjusted there. Let's make them a little smaller. So there they are, walking towards us. This bench might need to scooch it this way a little bit. And then let's put one person right here. So let's go back to, let's just do walking. Let's see, we got lady, no, we got lady, lady, guy, guy. So we could do a lady or a guy here. Let's do that. Let's do walking man. Let's do man on walking path. Because we want that outdoorsy kind of feel to whoever we stick in there. Like this guy, he's very casual. This guy's got a backpack on. Backpack could go good. This, like that guy, he's got a little beard. He needs to be a little bit to the side. You see, like a little bit, the person to the side. This is a little bit too far to the back. I'm just looking. Let's just go back to walking trail. Here's these guys. So like these are like normal people walking. This is good stuff right here. I think I've used this person numerous times in things. Look at this. Kids, moms. That's good. Here's like a little family. We already got the family idea covered. We got the dog idea covered. What are these people doing? They're too blurry. How about these folks? No. I'm gonna go back. These are nice. Let me just use this guy again. So here, pull them in. I want to do, we could keep the kid in there too. Let's just zoom in here a little bit. And we're going to do a quick little selection. Good enough. Do a flip. Let's just do, does she look like she's walking on there? It's like she's walking off. It's like too much of an angle. Just try this. No, it needs to be more back and less angle. Look how cute this is. want is one person walking. Like this. Like this dude. All right, so here he is walking. Do a quick little selection here. Maybe get a little bit more of that selection. Hit our mask. Let's just hide these folks. Maybe we can use them back here. Let's get him in where we want it. So he's going to be kind of big, and he'll be in here like this, and he needs to be shorter. So he's in there like that. And then here's our two people that we thought we weren't going to use, and they are back there. This veg here needs to come down. So there we go. We don't need this anymore. Just turn that off. And I'm just looking at the size and placement of this. I feel like these folks need to be just a little bit smaller so we can give this thing a little bit more room in there. This dude can be over a little bit. Come on, dude. Move over, please. So there we go. So here's our photo placement of these people. Oh, I included the model in there too. So here's the model. And then here's our, I'm just going to put this in with the people too. And we don't actually want this anymore. We don't need that layer. I'm just going to toss it. So there we go. There's a pretty good start. Again, we started with the photo and we straightened it out. Hold on one second. So just to do a quick recap, we did a couple of things. We started with the photo, and then we straightened it out, and then we made a model, and it's geolocated, and we put some scale stuff in there, and then we dropped in some photo veg and some photo people. Now that I see this again, this guy needs to be just a little bit smaller in there. Okay, and of course this is all going to be full of veg, and all that's going to be based off of the conversation with the client. So we're ready to go. We're ready to start doing some drawing. On to the next step.